Exactly.
Welcome everybody to the week one head of household competition results. Question mark, add an exclamation point at the end. Because I teased after the night one call that maybe I wasn't telling you guys everything about this HOH competition. Before this challenge, we did a hypnotic Big Brother staple. We did the Big Brother Choose Your Own Adventure, the BB simulator, where we would present everybody with scenarios. They'd choose one of three options. Some of these options are better than others. Some of them resulted in outcomes in which they won competitions. They got their way, they got blindsided. And however we matriculate the points and whatnot, you guys don't know and will never know. But whoever performed the best in the simulator would be the first head of household. And as head of household, typically on every season of Big Brother, their only responsibility is to nominate two players for eviction. But that's not entirely the case. So we already have the grand line. You're thinking that's the twist of the season, right? Well, no, you're wrong. I would like to introduce you to the Dragon Ball twist. And here is how this works. The head of household, when you win, you get the HOH key. You get the luxury of being safe for the week. You will be outgoing head of household next week, and you'll get to nominate two players for eviction. But not only that, I'm going to be handing you a Dragon Ball as well. You have to give that Dragon Ball anonymously to a house guest, to a different house guest, which renders them safe for the week. And you're probably thinking, Jacob, that's a fucking dumbass twist. Like, I could just not put them on the block. That's how we make them safe. Why is this relevant? Well, because, my friends, that the holder of the Dragon Ball will anonymously name a third nominee. There's a couple caveats with this, however. First being you can't be the Dragon Ball holder more than once. So every subsequent week, at the end of a HOH competition, we're going to ask everybody to send a short list of the people they would like to give the Dragon Ball in the event that they win the head of household. For week two, for example, you would do two people on that list. In week three, it would be three people. And for however long this twist endures, you will just continue increasing that list by one more, by whatever round of the game that we're currently in. I think that's it. Since this is the first implementation of the Dragon Ball holder, we're going to let whoever the head of household is, we're going to give them a little bit more grace on the deadline because, of course, you guys didn't know. You guys had to make a decision. But get that in as quickly as possible. You will be anonymously making this decision in your prod chat. You'll let us know. Give us ample time to notify the Dragon Ball holder that they now possess the Dragon Ball. And there's also a little bit of mystery in further weeks. Like you technically will never know who receives the Dragon Ball. The only person with the privilege of knowing for a fact who it is the first HOH because they don't need to send a list. There's no fear of picking someone who's already been picked before. We'll send a little blurb to review, and you guys can by all means can ask questions afterwards. But I think it's now time to reveal who the HOH is. We know who the fuck that motherfucker's gonna be. We won't know who this Dragon Ball holder is. All right. In last place, with a score of 6, Meg, you are not the head of household. In 15th place, with a score of 8, Tyler, you are not the head of household. And now we're approaching double digit territory now. In 14th place, with a score of 10 points, Evelyn, you are not the head of household. In 13th, with a score of 12, Kyle, you are not the head of household. Next two, they tied, getting 13 points apiece. Rafi, Steven, neither of you are the head of household. Getting a score of 14 points. Noah, you have not won the head of household. We have 9 players left, and now we're treading into the 20s. In ninth place, with 21 points, Marcel, you are not the head of household. In eighth place, with 22 points, Lexi, you are not the head of household. In seventh place, with 24, B, you're not the head of household. In sixth place, with 25, Alex, you are not the head of household. And with a score of 27, Hales, you are not the head of household. It is down to Adam, Gigi, Kim, and Zach. In fourth place, with a score of 28, Adam, you are not the head of household. In third place, with a score of 29, Kim, You are not the head of household, which means it comes down to Gigi and Zach. And with a score of 34 points, congratulations, Zach. You are the first head of household of the season. And how unfortunate that Zach joins us after learning, everyone else except for him learning the responsibility that comes with being the head of household. So, Zach, congratulations. You are the head of household. You're responsible to nominating two of your fellow house guests for eviction. We'll be having the nomination ceremony tomorrow. We'll arrange a time that works for Zach to have the nomination ceremony and to get the subsequent veto picks in order. We'll be uploading this video onto the YouTube. For those who cannot attend the Zoom, we'll be sending an announcement formally reintroducing everyone and announcing for those who couldn't attend the Dragon Ball twist. Zach, we'll catch you up in just a moment, but I'm going to end the recording right here. Good night, house guests.